die before she tell me. She'll die before she tell me. Gotta keep my eyes open.
A couple bands on your heels will probably change the way you walk. Conversations in the bank will probably change the way you talk. I'ma always be right here and I won't never leave you lonely. You can rest all of your fears cause I always got it on me. They took me from you once, you showed you was a rock. Speak on my demise, but the devil is a lie. 6 blunts in and we only getting higher. See the love in your heart, but your eyes full of fire. See, I used to wonder about you, but I know now. It's Gucci bags when we land, how it go now. Real shit, a real bitch and make you slow down. I beat it up and take a break and go some more rounds, and then we go some more rounds. It's gonna always be some rain, so the roads got umbrellas. I'm stressing with the homies in the town with them fellas. Gonna always take the pictures, I'll tell you when to post it. Gotta keep my eyes open, cause I know them niggas jealous. Yeah, I know them niggas jealous. But baby, keep a secret, she'll die before she tell it. I went and got a bag by myself, they call me selfish. Gotta keep my eyes open, cause I know them niggas jealous. Yeah, I know them niggas jealous. But baby, keep a secret, she'll die before she tell it. I went and got a bag by myself, they call me selfish. Gotta keep my eyes open, cause I know them niggas jealous. Yeah, I know them niggas jealous. Yeah, I know them niggas jealous. Baby, keep a secret, she'll die before she tell it. Gotta keep my eyes open. See, I started as a dealer, then I finished as a dealer. I could put you on the beach in the middle of the winter. You and Nina, sister wives, cause this shit could get tricky. Niggas frontin' like a killer, turn that bitch into Matilda. Stepping on these niggas and I came into a feet first. 12 on these Balenci's and these bitches make my feet hurt. Rich nigga problems every day, I live a movie. You could fight in H&M or you could ball with me and Louis. She asked for a hoodie, so I let her wear the Gucci. Next day when she left, I ain't tripping, she kept the Gucci. It tastes like fruit, I even had to lick my fingers. And that pussy so good, I had to save me some for later. Diamonds on your neck, see them dancing on your haters. And they talk from the bottom, but you up, you can't hear them. You taking all the pictures, I'll tell you when to post it. This alone me and I'm focused, you ain't tripping, you a hold it. Cause you know them niggas jealous.
Yeah, you know them niggas jealous.
Yeah, I know them niggas jealous. But baby, keep a secret, she'll die before she tell it. I went and got a bag by myself, they call me selfish. Gotta keep my eyes open, cause I know them niggas jealous. Yeah, I know them niggas jealous. But baby, keep a secret, she'll die before she tell it. I went and got a bag by myself, they call me selfish. Gotta keep my eyes open, cause I know them niggas jealous. Yeah, I know them niggas jealous. Yeah, I know them niggas jealous. Baby, keep a secret, she'll die before she tell it. Gotta keep my eyes open, cause I know them niggas jealous.
Yeah, I know them niggas jealous. But baby, keep a secret, she'll die before she tell it. I went and got a bag by myself, they call me selfish. Gotta keep my eyes open, cause I know them niggas jealous.
What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? Rich Trapper tapping in TNN Trap News Network. Back in the same, like cracking the same here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that good news you can use. It's that good knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college, big dog. Tap in with that tap in and make sure you are, in fact, tapped in with that good tap in with everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. We finna jump into this content, but before we do, hit the like, hit the comment, hit the get subscribe button. I'm gonna bring you something for everything you need here at TNN Trap News Network, man. We having some things going on with 1090 Jake. Not sure what's going on, but point and shoot is finna fill us in on wherever we need to be filled in. If you ain't did so, make sure you hit point and shoot with a like, comment, subscribe. I just did. Excuse any noise in the background. Moved into our new spot, man. It's not even been a week yet, but we already got to touch up some renovations for the house. Make sure this house is a home for me and everything that I got going on while we back home permanently in LA. You feel me? You feel me? So let's jump into this content. Without no further ado, let's get into this content. Let's go.
Famous fake white. All right, so for this video, I want to talk to you guys about the most famous fake white Florida blood from Boston. What? 1090 Sticks, because he's back.
Fake white Florida blood from Boston. Okay, we got it. Let's go.
Back in the news. And this time he's facing backlash for trying to quote-unquote expose legendary Chicago gang leader Larry Hoover for being a rat. And this is really confusing because he just told creepy weirdo Vlad TV that he's not exposing snitches anymore and that he's done with that.
Snitch stole how to work. That's why I don't even, the snitching videos is over with. Like I said, if
and
one
so that was
person...
obviously a lie, which is not surprising because Jake is a well-documented liar and storyteller and fraud. But I did want to talk about this new video that he made because it's so stupid. It's just a huge nothing burger. And it's obvious that he only put this video out because Larry Hoover has been in the news lately for getting pardoned by Donald J. Trump. And so this is a huge clout chase. And the documentation Jake uses is newspaper articles. It's not paperwork.
I never knew you could get paperwork that goes this far back, but this is a documented shooting that took place. And, you know, I have the news clippings in this video. Y'all can see it. Y'all can look it up for yourselves. It ain't a secret. It's been out for fucking 57 years.
So this 57-year-old newspaper clipping is the basis for Jake's expose.
What?
This is just a newspaper article, and it's quoting the police. It's not even, there's no narrative that's signed. It's not an affidavit. It's not a witness statement. This is a newspaper article. And the newspaper article basically says that Larry Hoover got shot by his rival gang members and he got hit in the legs and ended up telling on those people to the police from his hospital bed. Now, I do want everyone to understand that this is a newspaper article from the 1960s.
So this is not even an actual, it's not a police report, it's not a hospital report, this is a newspaper article. Got it.
He's in Chicago, and it's the police that are being quoted. This is all just the police telling the newspaper what they say Larry Hoover said. There's no, it's just a bunch of nonsense. You know, the police in Chicago in the 60s was one of the biggest criminal organizations in America. What? You know, the corruption in the 60s with that department is insane. They're not credible at all, and I don't understand why we're even talking about this. And this shooting happened in the middle of the fucking day in the principal's office. What? There were witnesses everywhere. There were multiple bystanders that got hit. There were people telling people stuff all over the place. They picked the guys up minutes after they shot. These guys did not get arrested because of Larry Hoover. The cops are trying to put this on Larry Hoover to try to make him out as a snitch, I think. This is what happened, because it just doesn't make sense that they've got these guys in custody minutes after, and then they go to the newspaper and try and attribute these arrests to like what Larry Hoover told them. Did Larry Hoover take the stand, by the way? Do we have anything that actually, I mean, is there any proof that Larry even said any of this, or are we just going off the cops' words? Because I think it needs to go a little bit further than that if we're going to be labeling someone like Larry Hoover a snitch. Okay, that's crazy. So 1090 Jake puts this video out, and people are not happy about it. He's all over the blogs. People are reminding him that he...
Well, isn't he like this like white boy from like, again, from Boston, who is named like Cherry or something because his last name is Cherry, and then he never really like had a real active street career, but I'm not sure what's 1090 Jake's whole thing is.
He is one of the most famous snitches in the world. What? And it's just not really going very well for him. His video flopped. It only got 150,000 in the first day. So the video is not performing well. It's not lucrative at all. And it's just so funny because he's put himself in a lot of danger for a lot, you know, not a lot of money. And as we all know, Jake has publicly stated that he only exposes snitches in the interest of gaining money so that he can support his new relationship. What? And that's true. And so I want to play you this clip of 1090 Jake explaining that he doesn't care.
These girls are going anybody who they feel like they could be with who ain't gonna make them have to work.
Care about any of this shit. I only really expose snitches because I need money.
I think people get it confused and they think that I genuinely give a fuck. I don't care.
You're just
YouTube
making content.
pays me, bro.
Yeah, this is your gig.
If I wasn't making money off of this shit, I wouldn't give a fuck.
For sure.
So he does this all for money. It's only in the interest of money. And I want to play you some more of this. This is really interesting. This is where it gets really sort of weird when Jake starts lying and then he starts contradicting himself mid-sentence almost. I mean, it's really bizarre. And I want to show you this. So this next clip is going to show Bootleg Kev sort of check 1090 Jake on the fact that he's like sort of destroying people's lives by labeling them a snitch. And he asks Jake how he feels about that. And Jake pretty much denies that these people's careers are affected by his videos. He's like, nobody cares about when I do a video on somebody. Nobody gives a fuck about what I say. I'm just doing what I do so I can get some money.
Drop shit on people that have still maintained their career. Like
Boston Richie was one of your famous ones, right?
Yeah.
Affected his career negatively.
Like 6 days after that shit dropped, when I dropped that shit, he got signed for like $6 million.
True.
So who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, people are still gonna have their opinion on that. Like, oh, he gave fake names, whatever. And I can show you what name was real and what name.
I don't really understand what the purpose of 1090 Jake is. We got this fat Bobby Hill like gang member edition. Really, like, I'm not really sure. Like, remember when the episode of King of the Hill when Bobby started having a crush on Connie's cousin from LA. She was a tagger. She was writing all over the over the fences in the alley and all that kind of stuff. 1090 Jake looks like that's what Bobby Hill would have grew up to be and had he stayed with her. But there's nothing like intimidating about this nigga. There's nothing gangster about this nigga. There's nothing about 1090 Jake that makes you feel like, oh yeah, this is somebody we need to worry about. Just a little fat kid from Boston who's obsessed with being a blood from Florida, which is kind of weird.
You know, but it's like, who gives a fuck?
So Jake says nobody gives a fuck. So that, okay, so what he's saying is that when he makes a video about someone labeling them a snitch and getting millions and millions of views and ruining their image, that no one cares about it and that it doesn't really affect the person's career. Now, I want you to pay attention to that. Jake says nobody cares. No one gives a fuck about this. So he's saying that when someone gets labeled a snitch, no one at the end of the day really cares, and that it's not, people are still going to listen to their music and everything else, right? Okay, so minutes later, Bootleg Kev asks Jacob if there was ever a time when
Jacob is crazy.
he had paperwork on someone labeling them a snitch that he decided not to make a video about. And Jake says, yes, there is someone that I decided not to make a video about, even though they are a snitch. And listen to the reason why he didn't make the video.
Have you decided to not expose somebody for whatever reason, even though you have shit where you're like, maybe...
Yeah, I got a interrogation video on a big rapper.
Why haven't you dropped it?
Because I know what it's gonna turn into. The thing is, I already know that who it is gonna get a pass, so why do it?
Yeah, why stir up some shit?
Why stir up some shit that ain't a fucking, you know...
Because you're going to get the content, and that's your whole purpose, bro. You made your whole purpose on exposing people and doing the whoopty bam and blah, blah, blah. So do what you're going to do or don't, bro. It's either like SHIT or get off the pot.
2 weeks, nobody's gonna give a fuck about. And it's just gonna cause me more of a pain in the ass than anything. So I don't need the money that bad.
What the fuck did I just...
That's the entire point and purpose of your channel.
So he's having trouble keeping up with his lies, isn't he? He just said that he doesn't mind putting the snitch label on people because at the end of the day, no one's going to care about it.
Shit, he got signed for like $6 million.
True.
So who gives a fuck? No, but it's like, who gives a fuck?
But then he says that he didn't expose Big Sad for being a snitch because no one would care about it. And it wouldn't be worth it because no one will care about it.
I already know that who it is gonna get a pass, so why do it? Why stir up some shit that in a fucking, 2 weeks nobody's gonna give a fuck about?
Then why are you exposing anyone at all? Why are you exposing Larry Hoover if no one cares about it? It's so stupid. So what the fuck is going on? And Bootleg kept sitting here like, yeah. But what he's thinking is, man, this guy's stupid. And but he doesn't want to dig in. He's non-confrontational. This is probably why he has the #1 hip hop podcast on the West Coast, because he doesn't like dig into people and like really put people on the spot. But he knows that Jake sounds like a fucking idiot right here. So I just wanted to show you that. Now I do want to move on to this next clip. This is going to be 1090 Jake for the first time letting the world know that he is no longer a blood and that he has dropped his flag. And
Can you do that? I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can do that.
he is an official dropout. Okay, this is really interesting. Look at this.
Like you brought up, I'm a white blood. None of that shit's on my Instagram anymore. All the pictures are taken down, all the fucking... Like, I turned 30 and I was just like, this shit doesn't serve me, you know? It made sense in prison. Brotherly love overriding oppression.
It made sense in prison because you needed protection. Got it. But now you out the jail, you don't need to be protected no more. See what you did there.
Destruction. I'm broke, you're broke. We come together, we eat.
Wow. So he says it only made sense for him to be a blood in prison because, you know, whatever, I eat, you eat, we eat together. That's not what he's always he's always said that he was a blood long before he went to prison. But now he's like, it made sense in prison because I really had to show out. I had to show everybody that I was the biggest white boy in the you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, and being a white
boy
blood in prison actually puts you in a worse position. It doesn't make sense at all to do that. So he's saying it made sense in prison. No, it didn't. And so Jake's not intelligent enough to actually go on an interview podcast and conduct himself because he's a liar and he can't keep track of his lies.
It made sense in prison. Brotherly love overriding oppression, destruction. I'm broke, you're broke. We come together, we eat. They want to fuck us up. Well, we're going to fuck them up together, you know? Out here, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Why am I risking what I got going on to portray? I'm not out here sliding on shit, doing shit, you know? So it doesn't make sense. And then not only that, but...
So what's crazy, because when he came out, he was like the bloodiest of the bloods. But, people change. I guess he grew up out of it. It only took him a few weeks and, whatever. But, all right, cool.
People need to understand about 1090 Steak is that he's a goof. What? He's a fucking goof. And he went to prison for a very short amount of time. He was a short timer. He spent like a matter of months, 36 months tops. And it was less than that.
You spent about 36 months in prison altogether?
It was less than that.
It was like 2 years and he couldn't hang. He was telling people that he wanted to, disalive himself so that he can get special treatment and get away from general population. This is something that he said.
So what I did is I took the razor and I cut myself with the razor. And I didn't like I didn't do nothing crazy. I'm literally nicking it, just, forming a long line, just nicking and then pinching my skin so it bleeds a little bit. I took a piece of paper and I wrote, I'm gonna kill myself. I wiped my blood all over it. I stuck it on the window. I laid down on my back and I'm just bicycle kicking the door down. Nah, I wanna kill myself. They put me in a psych
Sound like you was scared to hit the main line, big dog. Oh, that's reason to get beat up in DP. Sound like you was scared to hit the main line, bro.
which is a pretty big size room. I got a slab mat on the floor. This slab mat, bro, is like the equivalent of a Tempur-Pedic. I don't know if you ever went psych, but this is the thickest, most comfortable mat. So I'm butt naked the whole 21 days in this. Like, I'm really trying to pull this whole psych thing. The whole state of Florida, the psych units were basically on lockdown because they were overpopulated. They couldn't accept any more people, so no one could go. So I wasted my time doing this whole thing. I never got sent anywhere.
Wow, so Jake went to great lengths and did everything he could think of to get himself separated away from all of his blood partners. What? He wanted to get shipped off to the puzzle factory to hang out with all the J-Cats and the weirdos. So I'm just wondering where it all made sense for him to...
With the J-Cat and the weirdos, it's crazy.
Get all these tattoos and all this shit. He's not a blood. He's just a normal guy that moved from Malden, Massachusetts down to Florida, where he burglarized his own family and got sent to youth prison for a very short amount of time. He was not instituted.
Wait, he stole from his family?
For him to, get all these tattoos and all this shit. He's not a blood. He's just a normal guy that moved from Malden, Massachusetts down to Florida, where he burglarized his own family and got sent to youth prison for a very short amount of time. He was not institutionalized. He was not... It didn't change him in any way. He just used this to tell stories and make money on YouTube. What? And he's losing interest in this persona because this new girlfriend that he has wants him to be a country boy. She wants him to, wear jeans and shit kickers and wear a cowboy hat and comb his hair and everything. This is this new direction that Jake's going with his career. He's going to be a country boy.
Oh, I'm good. How you doing?
Yo, it's crazy, like, seeing you without a hat. Like, the last few interviews I've seen, I'm like, yo, you, like, without the tattoos, like, you know what I mean? Like, you look like you could sell mortgages, bro.
Yeah, you think so? I had people saying that shit the other day. They were like, yeah, you really white boying around.
I don't understand the purpose. Again, like, I'm watching this, and I agree 100% with point and shoot. What's the point of 1090 Jake? Like, why is he here?
Right now.
Super white boy. Yeah.
I mean, Jake is actually trying to go country now because of his girlfriend Haley, and it's really interesting to watch. It's extremely cringe. If you go to his Instagram, he's always posting stories of her and what they're doing, and he's always doing some pathetic ass shit. Please go follow 1090 Jake on Instagram. It's really interesting. And I've actually got a full episode, I think it's like a 2-hour fucking episode on Patreon about his relationship with his girlfriend. I encourage people to go check that out. And I'll actually play you a clip. Actually, I want to start here. No Jumper. So 1090 Jake went on No Jumper and was talking about how disgusting his toes are and how pussy and bloody they were in prison.
What's going on here? Like, 1090 Jake is a complete failure of life, it seems like. Like, and again, you're a white man. How do you fumble that? I said the same thing about Lush. How do you fumble the white privilege bag?
And I was like, oh my God, he's got disgusting fucking toes.
My toenails were fucking infected from the last prison because of the small ass boots they gave me. So my shit bleeding, pussing, I can't walk. Medical basically told me to go fuck myself. They're not treating me until I get to the next spot. So I can't move, I can't run. I'm basically stationary. So when I get hit, I turn around. I'm like, all right, let's go blade for blade.
So I've always held on to this memory of hearing about Jake's disgusting toenails. And so the other day when I was watching his Instagram,
I've always held on to the memory of his disgusting toenails. It's crazy.
He was posting a story about him and Haley, and they were going kayaking. And we actually got to take a look at these toes, and I want to show you this. Look at that. Look at that big toe. Look at the toenail. Look at the fungi. That's it. Him and I thought this was Jala. What? I thought this was Poetic Minyango Jala.
Frederick Jala is my real name.
But it's not. It's 1090 Steak. And ever since I heard that story he told about his toenails being all bloody and fungusy and squirting pus everywhere, I've been extremely interested. I've been watching him like a hawk, trying to find out if, trying to find a photo or footage of these toes. Well, here it is. And he's done a great job of concealing them and hiding them. Look at this photo here. And his girlfriend, Haley, I believe, took this photo, and I think she said, babe, get your feet out of the shot. Get your feet out of the shot. So he's doing this insane spread. And that's a crazy spread. You know, when Jake was busting down,
That's a crazy spread. It's barnacle.
when Jake talks about busting down a spread, this is what he's talking about. What? He's talking about doing the fucking splits to get those toes out of that shot. It'd be too close to the
1090 Jake busting wide open as well.
camera. We'd be able to see all that fungi. And as you can see, the perfect shot where the handle of the oar and his hand are covering his nips. So you can't see those either. So this was an acceptable photo for them to post, even though it looks crazy. Now, I just wanted to point that out because Jake is a cowboy now. He's fully country. And I can guarantee you, I predicted this in the Patreon video. I knew that he was going to go full country.
And you did say that. You said he was going to end up being the hee-haw white boy. You for sure did.
And it's going to be crazy in like a year from now. If they're still together, he's going to be literally like fully open about country. He's going to be a shit kicker. And I cannot wait for the day when he's doing interviews talking about how he changed his life and now he loves country. He loves going on down them dirt roads with the cold beer and, the country lifestyle. He wants to change his life. He doesn't want to be this white blood anymore, unfortunately. And it's all because of his girlfriend. And he's open about it. He's going to be saying stuff like, so my bitch really changed my mind about the whole gangbanging thing.
Bro, it sounds like you just got caught up in a flu flam and now you're trying to use, your girlfriend or whatever as your way out of the stupid situation you put yourself in.
Whatever. And people don't realize this, but I'm really starting to change my life for the better with my new bitch. And I'm singing country music now. I'm doing country stuff. I'm singing the music. I'm loving he's singing country music now to her. I guarantee you he's singing to her. I guarantee he's like, I spent my whole life getting it all wrong. But I sure could use your help just from now on.
Point and shoot is burnt out, bro.
I wanna be a good man. I do like I should now. I wanna be the kind of man that drops out of the bloods.
All right, man. We about it to the next one. Y'all know the deal. It's red.
What's cracking there, buddy?
Y'all know the rest. It is free. I have a new angel until he's free. Point and shoot burnt out.